Hey folks, I'm Rob Franick. I'm editor-in-chief here at the Princeton Review, joining you once again. But today's subject, it is the rite of passage of high school students literally across the globe. That's right, today we are talking all about the PSAT. Now, you already likely know that the PSAT is deeply important in the college admission process, but you might be a little fuzzy on exactly why. So today, we're going to talk about not only what the PSAT is, but why it is so important to you in the college admission process. So without delay, the PSAT acronym stands for the preliminary SAT. That is it. That's all it means. It's simply the test that you take before the SAT. It is the practice. It is the trial run. It is the warm-up. It is the preview of literally what you'll see when the real test comes round. Also deeply important to remember about the PSAT is that it is the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. And I'm going to talk all about that in just a couple of minutes, so just bear with me. But the PSAT is most important as the preliminary SAT. In fact, the College Board, the creators of all things SAT, designed the PSAT to be just like the SAT. That means that the PSAT is taken on your own computer or laptop. The PSAT reading and writing section lasts 64 minutes and has 54 questions. The PSAT math section lasts 70 minutes and has 44 questions. Now, the PSAT reading and writing section asks questions about grammar and usage and rhetoric and arguments and research, and the PSAT math section asks questions about geometry and algebra and word problems and some trigonometry. The PSAT sections are both evenly split between two modules. The PSAT is a computer adaptive test presenting an easier or harder second module in each section based on your performance on the first module. So, if you take anything away from today's discussion, the obvious point is that the PSAT is just like the SAT. Now, when you take the PSAT, you'll actually be seeing a test with the same number of questions, the same section breakdown, and the same amount of testing time. That said, I do need to provide you with one small teensy caveat, and that is that the College Board, the creators of all things SAT and PSAT, says that the PSAT is a little bit easier overall than the SAT. It also is graded on a scale of 320 to 1420 instead of a 400 to 1600 scale on the traditional SAT. And the all-important thing for you to remember is that no college or university that you will be applying to will ask for your PSAT scores on your college admission application. So, when you take the PSAT, you should treat it just as a fantastic preview of the actual SAT. And that naturally brings me to another common question that we hear from our Princeton Review students about the PSAT. When is the PSAT? The very simple answer is October. More specifically, you'll take the PSAT on the day that your school hosts the PSAT. Now, your school's counseling office will be in charge of precisely when and exactly where you'll take the PSAT. So ask them if you don't actually know when your PSAT date is. That said, most students will take the PSAT during a school day administration. But if no school days work for your school, your counseling team may choose one of 2 Saturdays in October to administer the PSAT test. Now, based on when you took the PSAT, your scores will be sent to you and to your counselors in either late October or early November. All of this leads to the even bigger question: does the PSAT actually matter? How cynical of you. I mean, the truth is, when we talk about college admission applications, the answer to that question is super easy. The PSAT absolutely does not matter to college admission offices. No one single college or university in America requires students to submit a PSAT score in their application. But you should know that the answer to does the PSAT actually matter is complicated for many students, because if you have a great PSAT experience, you remember literally every formula. Your testing room is the perfect temperature. Your test has few distractions. The PSAT can actually matter if you do super well on it, and it can matter a great deal. That's because the PSAT is not just the preliminary SAT. The PSAT is also the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. If you score high enough, you can qualify for scholarship to college. Now, this also gets complicated. In order to become a semifinalist for the National Merit Scholarship, you need to earn a top 1% score in your state. But that's not a top PSAT score. It's a top score on the National Merit Scholarship Selection Index. Now, the Selection Index is determined by doubling your reading and writing score, adding it to your math score, and then dividing by 10. Now, I don't want you to worry here. You're not required to calculate your own selection index score yourself. It's going to be provided for you on your PSAT score report, and you'll also see a percentile score to see if you actually made it into that top 1%. But for everybody else, those scoring in the 99th percentile, you can still use your score on the PSAT as a guide for the SAT. Now, the College Board even says that what you got on the PSAT is what you'd likely receive if you took that SAT on the same day. And that means that the PSAT is best used as a kickstart preparation for the SAT. Now, just for a quick review before I sign off for today, when you've taken the PSAT, you've, number one, seen a test just like the SAT. Number two, you've received a score that's predictive of your SAT performance. And number three, you know what you should do to earn an SAT score that gets you in to your dream college. And that is it, my friends, for today. As always, if you have any questions on the information that we covered today on the PSAT or the National Merit Scholarships, please do not hesitate. Slug that into the comments section. I do my level best to get back to you very quickly. Please also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already for the latest information on testing, test preparation, college admission, financial aid, and the works. I'm Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review, signing off for today. Be well.